There are cats who simply find their families. And then there are cats who fight the universe to find theirs, absolutely refusing to let anything stop them. Izumi is firmly in the second category. He was a scrappy, golden-coated street kitten from Bangladesh who survived abandonment, a rainstorm, and everyone's low expectations. Now he lives his best life in the United States, stealing spoons and running laps around someone who had no idea what she was getting into. This is his story, and it's a pretty incredible one. It started in Bangladesh on what can only be described as a very bad day for a very small kitten. Izumi was 5 weeks old when he was left alone, exposed to the kind of stormy weather most people would rather stay indoors to avoid. He spent an entire day crying in the pouring rain. Not an hour, not a few hours. A full 24 hours of a tiny kitten refusing to go quiet, refusing to give up, refusing, apparently, to take the hint that the world wasn't exactly rolling out the welcome mat for him. Most people who heard about him didn't expect him to make it. He was too small, too young, too soaked, and too alone. But he made it. The woman who would become his mom found him and brought him in. And here's where the story gets both heartwarming and a little chaotic. She had absolutely no idea what she was supposed to do. Izumi was her first cat ever. He was 5 weeks old, which meant he still needed to be bottle-fed. His human angel didn't know that, so she didn't give him a bottle. But this cat really didn't need much. Just a little warmth after the cold rain, and he was ready to move forward. Somehow, against all reasonable expectations, Izumi survived. This kitty was, from the very beginning, operating on pure determination and an apparent refusal to follow any rules, including the biological ones. And look at him now. He may be one of the most handsome cats you've ever seen. Now, you might be wondering about his breed because he has a rather distinctive look. He's a domestic shorthair, the type common on the streets of Bangladesh. So no fancy pedigree, no certificate of breed distinction, just generations of street-smart, sharp-eyed, highly capable cats who learn to be good at staying alive. And if you look at Izumi, that lean golden frame, those alert green eyes, the way he carries himself with the quiet confidence of someone who has been through things and comes out fine, you can see every bit of that lineage. He looks like a cat who has opinions. He looks like a cat who would steal your spoon and feel no remorse about it whatsoever. Which brings us to the part of the story that his mom calls entertaining and that Izumi would probably call just an ordinary day. Life with Izumi has never been boring. From early on, it became clear that this was not a cat who planned to spend his days quietly napping in a sunbeam, though he does also do that, and he does it in increasingly unhinged positions. Izumi's full-time job, as his mom has put it, is being a menace, and he is very, very good at his job. He steals spoons. Not food, not toys, spoons specifically, which raises questions that may never be answered. He bounces off walls. He dribbles balls around the house like he's training for something. He comes up with new methods of causing chaos on what appears to be a rotating schedule, so just when you think you've seen everything he's capable of, he introduces a new bit. And he's smart. That's the thing about Izumi that makes all of this both impressive and slightly alarming. He learns quickly. He figures things out. He watches, he processes, and then he acts, usually in a way that is deeply inconvenient for everyone around him. This is not a cat operating on instinct alone. This is a cat with a plan. But there's also the other side of Izumi, the side that lives alongside the chaos and makes the whole picture complete. For all his energy, all his scheming, all his spoon-related crimes, Izumi is also a companion in the truest sense. He wants to be near his person. He will stay by her side all day, close enough to be present, content just to share the same space. He loves people. He's warm and social and genuinely interested in whoever is around. He just also has very clear ideas about affection and how it should be administered, on his terms, when he decides, not a moment before. He is not a cat you pick up for a cuddle on a whim. He is a cat who will come to you when he's ready, settle in beside you with enormous dignity, and somehow make you feel like you've been granted a very special privilege. Which, to be fair, you have. When his mom moved to the United States, Izumi came with her. Of course he did. Izumi is not the kind of cat who gets left behind. He was 1-year-old by then, already fully himself. A small, golden, opinionated cat who had survived rain and abandonment and the early chaos of being raised by a first-time cat owner who was figuring it out as she went. And now he's here, living in the US, gazing out windows at a world that is probably full of new things to investigate and new chaos to cause, sleeping in positions that defy explanation, sitting on the floor with his legs tucked underneath him like a golden loaf, staring at the camera with the deeply unbothered expression of a cat who knows exactly what he is. He makes ordinary days funnier and more memorable just by being in them. At just 5 weeks old, he spent 24 hours crying in the rain, and he just kept going until someone heard him. That's Izumi, and honestly, the world is better for it.